afternoon, everybody. Here we are. Doesn't these days go round quickly? Friday, 7th of June already. And tile 448. Let me check. Yeah, 448. Goodness me. How crazy is that? So, yeah, what I'm going to go with today. Cream tile. I've inked it and I've used the Flourish background stencil. I do love one of those out of there. It's just beautiful. And you can just use little bits of it according to what you want to do. And pen, pencil, Tortillon. I've got coloured pencils around me. Quite a few bits around me, actually. My desk's chaos. But that's okay. Dobby's been at it and he's been trying to show Macy how to how to tangle and add some ink to things. So I think they all need a bit of a wash before I bring them at the weekend. So here we go. All right, let's have a look. I'm going to start with, let me think. I'm going to start with, let's have a look. Oh, decisions to make. I'm going to come straight in with pen. I know that's a little bit scary, isn't it? But it's fine. You don't have to. You can start with a pencil if you want to. You can use a stencil as well because I'm going to put a bubble in up here. So let's have a look. Do I want to use a stencil? No, I'm going to go freehand. But again, I say if you want to do it where you're doing it in pencil first, that's absolutely fine. So I'm going to draw in a bit of a bubble there. If it's not exactly round, it doesn't matter. Well, there you are. All right, it's a bit more oval shape, but that's fine. Right at the top there. And then I'm going to put a little bit of a, almost like a half moon in it. Okay. And then this bit, straightforward enough, doesn't matter which way around you do this either. I'm going to bring a curl in, like that. But what I want it to do is to stop sort of on one edge like this. Let's go in a bit. Okay. Reason being is I can put a line there. And then a line there. You see, so it looks like it's gone round now. And then if I do a line there, and one there, you see, it looks like we've got some sort of 3D going. And this looks a bit odd because that also needs a line. Okay. And then this little boat shape here, I'm going to come in and put in another almost little petal shape. Let's do one now on the outside here. So I'm going to come round, like so. Join that one. Another one here, like that. I'm going to put one over the top. Go a little bit bigger. Okay. Now you could keep going and going and going with that, but I'm not going to because otherwise it's just going to fill the whole page up and I want to put a few more bits on. But that's giving you a very, very sort of simplistic kind of rose to get you started. So from there, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, my fingers never want me to. There you go. And I'm going to put in a curve. So I'm going to go from here to sort of here. Okay. Now imagine what you're going to do before you do it. All right. So I've got the idea. So then I can come in. I'm going to put quite a bobble on the end, like that. All right. And then I'm going to thicken up that top edge a little bit. So it's got a little bit of substance to it, see? You could bring your O5 pen in and do that. I don't want to do all of it. Just this bit. And a little bit there. Okay, giving it a little bit of interest. Okay. So next one is a little bit bigger than that. So I'm going to sort of come in with pencil. And here we go. I'm going to sort of start here. And it's going to go down here. Oh, hello, Patty. Good news. Really good news is that all my products are on the way to HSN as we speak, and I'm due on, and it's all going ahead on the 11th of June, and it's going to be 4 o'clock in the US. It's going to be 9 o'clock here on HSN Lifestyle, so really looking forward to that. It's been a long time coming, but we've got there. So excited. It's going to be fun. All right. So see, working my way around. You see why sometimes doing it larger, you know, doing the larger ones and doing it in pencil first just means that you've got a little bit of a comfort blanket and you don't have to panic so much about trying to get it right first time, because as much as we think it doesn't matter so much, it does. We do want to get it so it looks nice. See, a little bit thicker there. And then here, I'm going to come in there, add a little bit there. So far, so good. So I'm going to do another, and again, I'm going to bring my pencil in because I want to sort of do one. It's going to cross here, so I'm going to put this in first. This is where I want my first bit to be. And then it's going to sort of come up and round to here kind of thing. So let's give that a go and see what's going to happen. See how it's crossing? I want that sort of cross there. So I want a little bit of a sort of a shape. So again, I'm going to follow that down. That's it. And along. And along. And again, I can do this, look, and I'm going to come in and put that little loop in. And again, I'm going to thicken a little bit of it there. And just a little bit of it there. Not as much as the last one. Just like that top edge. All right. Okay. So, another one. I'm going to come sort of up this side. And this one, not too big. So, being that I've already done those larger ones, I've got this. I've got this. And then one more. It's going to come down here. Round there, like that. So thicken up a little bit at that top edge, and just a little bit there. See, it just changes the dimensions of it a little bit, doesn't it? Well, not dimensions, dynamics, I should say. Changes the dynamics a little bit, and enables you to bring a little bit of ink in there. Okay, all right, liking that. Just before I carry on though, I'm going to put some lines in because I want to put some words in a short while. So let me just fill that bit in, give it a chance. So up here, I'm going to put a line there and one there. So I know that I'm leaving myself a little bit of space there. Again, you can draw whatever we're going to write in with pencil first. I think let's do it, actually. Let's do it. And this is, I know we're sort of a day late for D-Day, but it's, you know, it's going on all this week. And, you know, you sort of think we want to mark this occasion, but I want to bring out the poppies today because I know we've done those before, but this is kind of nice to do something a little bit different. Yeah, let's put the A in there. And I'm going to come down here and sort of shape in my words. Now you can put whatever you like in here. I'm just trying to focus on making sure I spell it right. Because you know what it's like when you start talking and then you forget that you're supposed to be writing a word. Just going to get that E in there. There we go. That's nice. So that's that little bit in. So once I've got that, I'm going to rub out those pencil marks around there. I don't need them anymore. I'm going to sort of on there. Okay. So let's have a look then. I'm going to come in here. I want to bring in a couple of little leafy shapes. So I'm going to come along with a line, and then I'm going to put a little wave on the end. Let's do that again. Let's do one here, like a line, and then sort of a little wave on the end. It's almost like a little triangle, isn't it, kind of thing. I'm going to put a few of those in because we want some waves in. And let's have one sort of here. So flat line, and then sort of like a little bit of a triangle shape on one edge. And the other one there. triangle shape there. Okay. So let's have a little look at this space here. We've got this scar. Usually we'd fill this with bubbles, and it's a nice way of doing it. But this time I'm going to come in with like curves. So this sort of like little shapes going underneath each other. See, like a little curve. Now we work it on. And I'm going to kind of work my way around that. You see I've got these little gaps at the side. I'm going to fill those in with some ink afterwards. And that one. And sort of fill in the space, and then any of the gaps left, let's get them done. So it's all nice and neat round those edges. Okay. That one there. So of course I've also got, I've got one here. Let's have a look. I've got a little space here. See where the two cross? So I'm going to do something the same and put that in around there as well. Okay, and any little gaps which I don't have any, fill in. That's that little bit. Okay, so I've got space down here, so I'm going to come and put another one of those little loops in. Again, a little bit of ink filling there. Oh, there a little bit. Nice, okay. Look a little bit different, don't they? That's what we want. And let's get in a few more of those little leaf shapes. There, look, and then I'm going to sort of go across there. Put one in there. And let's have one coming up there. Sort of one just sort of poking out the top end there. Okay. And let's add in a few. Let's go up a little bit. Bring a little line and a V on that line there, and let's put some little bobbles on. So line with a V and little bobbles on like that. Okay, let's have a little look at that in context. So they're not very big. They're going to be sort of dotted around the place. And in amongst all the rest of those little bits and pieces. And you can go a bit longer with some of them if you want to. So let's have that one going underneath, little V. To there. And let's have another one sort of coming out here. Little shapes. So all that done. I'm going to put a little curl up here, or part of one at least. So we've got a bit of consistency there. What's going on? Okay. So should be okay now to get rid of my pencil lines. Oh, a little bit of, just be careful when you're rubbing out. You don't want anything to smudge. See, I've been really careful around those pieces because I don't want them to too far. Okay, let's have a look at that. So I want to put a little bit of a border in, but I want to do it so it's sort of my text is sort of meeting it. So at the top end of my Y there, I'm going to bring in a bit of a line. See, join it there. I'm not going to do anything around there because it's quite busy. But then it's going to sort of wander down. Let's start again about here. Put a dot on the end, like so. And follow it down. Yeah. Then I'm going to come down here, but I also want to match it to this. So I'm just going to bear that in mind. So I'm going to put in a wave in on purpose. Okay. So then to help me with this, I'm going to find it easier, I think, to do it this way. And again, I'm just going to imagine, this is quite sort of off quite close to the edge, where this is a bit further out, you see? So I'm going to come in a little bit more. And then let's wobble it. So it joins the top of that E there. Alright, so we've got that kind of thing going around. And it leaves this like free. That's what we want. So I'm going to bring in another line. Same sort of thing. So I'm going to start with the Y, but this time I'm going to sort of wobble it round. So I'm kind of creating like a double line. But on purpose, they're not meeting at all. Round they go. See, sort of a bit of a wobble. And round we go. Like so, until I get to the top there. Okay, gives it a little bit more interest there. That looks kind of nice. So, cut part way up, can find a little space to put some of these in. See, little bubbly shapes, maybe a leaf or two in there as well. And I'm just going to get that one in there. Okay. And definitely going to put some bubbles, but in my bubbles I'm going to do one, I'm going to put a swirl inside. Let's have a little look at that. Okay, so a bubble with a swirl. Only if you can sort of fit them in. If your bubbles are a bit small, then it doesn't matter. Just keep them as normal bubbles. Again, it's giving it a little bit of something different. Put one in there. I'm not going to overdo it, just a few in there. Still a little one. Okay. So I'm going to bring some pencil shading in with this. I've got my Tortillon to hand, I think I have. Oh yes, I have. That's all good. And I'm going to start with the little sort of bobbles here. I'm going to put a little bit at the bottom edge, like so. And the same with all of them. We've got that consistency going on there. And that one. Okay. This one. Bit on that one. I'm not going to do the leaves or the flower there, just those bits. And then I'm going to come sort of around the inside of that little border there. So it's going to be a little bit sort of an odd shape to follow. It's not a straight line. So just sort of work your way around it. Like so. And along. Oh, hey Nicola, what are we going to do this weekend? It's been 2 weekends in a row that we've said hello to each other in person. But not this one. You're going to have to message in on Hobby Maker on Sunday, so I feel like we've kept the consistency going for a hat trick. All right, a little bit of pencil along those areas there. That's where they sort of go underneath each other. Same with this one. See, not too much. Okay. All right, Tortillon then, and go back to these sort of little shapes first, and gently soften the pencil there. And you could do this in colour if you wanted to. I'm going to bring in colour on the flower, so I kind of like to have a little bit of monochrome and some colours at the same time. Okay, see, it's just gone over there a little bit. And so that's those bits. Let's get these done. And follow it through. In we go. Okay, and same on this. Now if you've used a darker tile, you could have a little bit of a white chalky pencil across the top there, and you can bring that little bit of highlight over. But because mine's not really, it's got a little bit of yellow in the background, but it's not particularly strong enough, I think, to warrant or white, it wouldn't show up a lot. So I'm going to go with what I've got here. Okay, like swirling it round. I'm allowing it to go into the piece quite a bit there. See, sort of keeping it going. So, you know, if I'm doing this, it's really close, but I'll let it out a little bit. Let it sort of wander in. And, sort of swirl it round as it's going. Not too much pressure, of course. It's nice to just ease off a little bit, and you'll find that it will actually vanish into the background there. And on this bit. There we go. See, we could have done this design in this bit as well, but I felt that that was nice to have it open. So, you know, if you look at your tile and you think you want to add more to it, then that's the way to go about it. So just look for those gaps and add, you know, add extra little bits and pieces in. Okay. So there's our little bit there. See, I've come down the Y. Let's have a little look. Okay. So I'm going to bring a little bit of colour in now. Now, of course, you can colour your rose any colour you like. I'm going to come in with a little bit of light red. And I've got my Clementine. And a little bit of mid-orange. I think let's see how those go. And then I might also bring in, yeah, definitely darker one. Yeah, I've not used this in a while. I use my Mahogany. But I'm going to leave that to one side. And it goes without saying that I do have my white regular pencil as well. Okay. So if I start with, I'm going to start with my sort of my lightest, which is my mid-orange. And I'm going to put a coat all the way over that flower. And again, if you want to actually do this in monochrome, then what I would be doing is looking for like the gaps, you know, the curves here, and adding some in between the curves, and then softening it out with a Tortillon. But sometimes it's nice to have a bit of colour. Okay, so let's bring in the red, my light red, and I'm going to add some, not too heavy, just sort of in a couple of areas. That's a little bit there. So you can see I'm not really pressing on, and I'm not trying to blend anything in at the minute. It's about adding a little bit of colour in there. Of course, watercolours, I'd be doing a similar thing, although I wouldn't probably have completely covered the whole thing. I'd be adding little sections in like that. So if I come in then with my Clementine, which is sort of the middle colour, let's start swirling it together. It's going to work the two colours together. You see it's sort of moving a little bit more. And along we go. See how that kind of starts to work. But again, I've not filled in each of those petals there. I can still see what's underneath, so I'm not trying to completely fill it in. It's just about working those colours together. Of course, please don't feel that you've got to follow me completely. This is just my way of colouring. You can colour it however you like. See? So back in with mid-orange, and I'm going to sort of work along most of it now. I'm going to leave a little bit of colour underneath so you can still see it, but mostly it's going to sort of disappear in the background there. And start to sort of blend all those colours together. And I'm trying to keep a little bit of lightness in places. Oh, always swirling. It's easier to blend if you swirl. Okay. So let's bring more white in on the edges. And that's also going to sort of help blend a few bits in. So sort of look for the lighter areas. You see it's going to start to work them together. A bit on the edge there and a bit in there. Okay. We're back in with that red. And this time I can apply a little bit of pressure. I want it a little bit darker now. You see the difference? So sort of going where I went before, really. I'm not trying to extend it in particular. It's like giving it a little bit of shade in there. You see, again, not really trying to blend this in particularly. The next colour is going to help to do that. This has got a little bit of shape, see, a bit under there maybe. Alright, back in with that orange. A bit of colour in there. See, a little bit more pressure, but again, I'm not filling the whole thing in. It still needs that little bit of lightness. There we go. You know, and you can take your time with this. You don't have to do it to a sort of a time limit. You can do whatever you want to do with it. You can add more of these roses in if you want to. I thought roses were a nice fitting tribute, honestly. I don't know if you watched the news yesterday and the veterans that have made it over there. There's getting fewer and fewer of them. So it was quite a day for them, I'm sure. Okay, going to come in now with the darker one, this mahogany. And I want to add, so I don't want to overdo this. So I'm going to very gently sort of work it in with that darker red. Okay, I'm definitely going to put some in there. I want that to be a bit darker. And again, sort of where I put the original darker colour. So notice it's not always in all the corners. Sometimes you want a little bit to stand out as well. See the difference that makes. Work my way along, so they're all going to be slightly different, and you don't want to draw a line completely underneath everything. You want to split it up a little bit. Okay, a little bit in there and a bit over there. Okay, maybe just a touch on there. See, although mahogany is quite it's a very reddy colour, despite you thinking, well, it's wood. So it does work really well. Okay. Okay, with that man, then a little bit of my sunny green. And I'm going to go over the top of all my leaves. And, you know, sort of fill in those spaces there. Again, you don't have to press on, just needs a little bit of pressure, nothing much. And a little bit of a darker. Let's go with the grass green. Just in that bottom edge. Okay, just sort of not bottom edge. And of course, depending on what colour tile you've done, you might want to bring in the new black edition and use them on the dark colours. They look fab. We have got some more coming, but I don't know when they're going to arrive. It's kind of nice. All right, almost done. Just going to bring my regular pencil back in for a moment, and I want to put some underneath that rose, like so. Just under that section there. And back of the tortillon, and get softened out. Nice little bit of pressure. Don't overdo it. We just want it to see like it's sort of sitting. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with a little bit of pencil on these curls, not the leaves, just the curls. And I'm going to imagine that I'm drawing this again, but it's sort of going to be slightly to the side, so it's slightly off. Put that little bobble in, see, slightly off. So this one looks slightly off. That bobble on. Same again, so see it's sort of coming kind of to one side. So then I'm going to sort of slightly off. Slightly off. I'm going to put that one in. And then again, tortillon ever so gently. We don't want it to overpower. I'm going to sort of put that in place there. And we can have them looking like they're sort of coming off the page a bit. So we've got a bit of a shadow going on. too much. We don't want it to sort of overpower the piece. It's just a little bit of something in the background that makes a difference. See? Okay. So let's just make sure we've got all that in done. So there. Okay. Oh, and I'm going to colour those in there, being that they're the same sort of thing as we've got on the other side. Okay, so a little bit of a signature. So that's my little gesture and my little sign of respect for those D-Day commemorative things that went on yesterday. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Of course, it doesn't have to be. You could leave the words out. You could stamp something in there instead. Draw lots more roses, but I thought it's kind of nice just to have one and you know, to mark the occasion. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have a lovely weekend. And of course, if you were around on Sunday, you'll find me doing a bit of crafting on a Hobby Maker. 3 and 6, I think it is. A few new products on there, so you might want to sort of tune in and see what we're up to. But other than that, have a lovely weekend, everybody, and enjoy this one. And I'll see you soon.